these headphones.
What's that?
We should be live.
We should be live. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. We have a very curious setup today in order to make it so that you can see Rafael Pons. And speaking of Rafael Pons, he's not available yet. Not sure if he's coming back and stuck in traffic in Spain or if he's coming home right now. We are waiting for him. What's the one finger, Peyton?
Hold up. I'm hearing no audio. Probably because it's muted. Never mind.
You're good to go. Can you hear me all right? If you can't hear me, then that's the problem. They can't hear me.
No audio.
Turning on Skype really killed us.
Probably because it's muted.
Peyton,
Never mind.
are you still live?
We're live.
But you don't have any audio. If you can't hear me, then that's the problem. They can't hear
No,
me.
it's working. It's working. It's just very delayed.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can hear us all right? Give us a thumbs up if you guys can hear us.
We're live.
And check and see what the feed's saying, who's there.
There's 3 windows now. Which one are we actually supposed to be? Because this one's getting cut off.
This is him sharing his screen, and he's supposed to overlap it with this one so that they can see us better on this image, and this is Rafael Pons. So Peyton, you guys can all hear us, everyone's there. So guys, thanks for joining us today with Rafael Pons. We have a glitch in the system with Rafael not being here yet.
It's 5:30 in Madrid, so that could be crazy rush hour traffic these days.
Yeah, and we were actually planning on meeting with him a half an hour ago, and he has not been available the whole time. So we're just waiting for him. So Brendan and I will entertain you until he joins us. And once he does, we'll just start right away with the Q&A. So if you can start giving Peyton some questions. If you have questions you want to ask about PhotoPills, toss them up there, and Peyton will get them on there on the list so they can queue them up. So we got the podcast recording, so let's go ahead and start this podcast, and we'll wait for Rafael to join us.
This is really trippy.
Is it trippy to see 3 windows of us?
No, because I'm looking, see how this looks like. Oh, because that's the camera.
Yeah, that's the camera right there. So if you guys are wondering what
it's
Brendan's wondering, why we have 4 different versions of our video,
Yeah.
what you're seeing here is the window of Peyton's computer that has a Skype call that's going into it. The Skype call has my camera feed, so that square at the bottom over here. Let's see. Yeah, here. Right here. That window is the camera feed going to that computer, but not a mic feed. The Skype audio, because we're just kind of basically with missing a piece of equipment, an expensive piece of equipment to make this work really well. This is our workaround. So now you have that feed of us that's better quality, and when Rafael Pons joins us, he will be this giant square, the one that's up here. This one. This square will be Rafael Pons once he joins us. So you'll see him nice and big. You'll hear him through Skype. We'll have him here visible so we can talk to him. You'll see us in the bottom corner, and then we have some pictures of the contest to share, and so that's how everything will work. So while we're waiting for Rafael to join us...
It's like an infinite loop. It's crazy.
It is nuts. In fact, we're looking at Peyton's screen right now. Let me just see what contacts are available. Rafael Pons not available yet. Hey man, you there?
Just try calling him.
When he's offline, it doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and start the podcast. Let's just go right into it. So Brendan, that's recording. Let's get started for episode 37.
Yeah.
Golden Orb Design says, woohoo, we can hear from the dark side.
Hey Jeff, I'm glad you guys can hear from down there in Australia. I know that it's really tough to follow what's going on up here in the northern hemisphere.
Well, at least they've got a good time now, because usually we're recording at night.
Yeah. Well, it's still, I think, for Jeff, isn't it midnight right now? Like 12:30 in the morning? As I wait for him to respond through Peyton.
Yeah.
I can't just sit here and be like,
Well, the thing is,
It's 3:35
like
in Wellington,
5 or
so it
6
probably is
seconds
close to 4
delayed.
in the morning there.
What's that, Peyton?
it's like 5 or 6 seconds delayed for the stream.
So even that on top.
So he's
Yeah.
he might be an early riser.
Oh, yeah,
Either he's
Jeff?
just-
Or a
either he's up
late nighter.
all night long.
He's a photographer, and he's a lot like us, so I'm guaranteeing
Yeah,
he's a
it's
late nighter.
23:30.
23:30, so only
It's
11:30.
at night.
Yeah. In Australia. Wellington, New Zealand's far enough
I guess
away.
it's far enough away. That's crazy.
Isn't it nuts?
Really, that far?
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that far away.
Well, that's why the Australians and New Zealand's been fighting neck and neck for life because of the time zone. Nah, just kidding.
They're fighting at the same time zone.
Okay, let's go ahead and start the podcast, episode 36, and we'll jump in as soon as Rafael Pons joins us. And if this all fails because he can't make it today, we'll just do it another time. That's the bottom line. Okay.
I mean, Sydney's different time than what he's saying, so.
Right on.
Okay.
Hey, it's episode 37. Episode 37.
Yeah.
So 35 was our episode going down to Escalante, and 36 was going to Escalante, and 35 was our last episode where we hung out with, no, it was just us.
Well, we did the 1,000-mile trip, if I'm wrong.
The 1,000-mile trip. Good job, Peyton, the intern.
I have to know this.
It's your job. It's your unpaid
And we still
job.
have an episode with Chris Iyer coming out.
Yeah, you guys don't know it, but we have a recording of a podcast with Chris R. Walker, and he is waiting for something on his end to be publicized so that we can talk about what we talked about on that podcast, because it was pretty cool. So welcome to the podcast today, guys. We want to thank the patrons. Thank you so much. We had our first month of payments come through. Really appreciate that. It's been a huge help. I just can't say enough how much we've really appreciated that.
Yeah, I mean, we've just barely got the base of our expenses covered with that first payment. So if we can at least keep that going and move forward as the months progress, that'd be good.
Yeah, so excited.
And thanks to all 11 people watching.
Thanks to all 11 people watching. Now, Peyton, try your mic. Let's see if we can hear you okay there. If you pull your mic down, are you able to hear? No, I'm sorry. This headset. Pull that mic down. Do you hear yourself in that? Probably not, because I made sure that mic wasn't working so we wouldn't hear any of that audio. So you won't be able to hear Peyton the intern. I know that we had people like Robert say, hey, bring in the Peyton. Bring in more Peyton. Bring in the Peyton.
We have actually a comment from Rafael.
Yeah.
Tell me if I'm saying that wrong. But since we are with just a few in the chat and messages don't get scrolled by in a second, let me tell you guys that your YouTube channel is a great one. Very good content. 2 likable chaps and 2 little subs.
And 2 little
2 little subs. Oh, okay.
Okay. I thought he called us sobs. 2 likable chaps and 2 little sobs. Thanks, man.
Yeah, thank
and
you.
You said Rebel?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, thank you. I don't know if Ro is a guy's name or a girl's name, so thank you.
It's a picture of a guy.
Picture of a guy. Thanks,
Okay.
man. Appreciate that.
Wrong, but
Peyton
like
declared it that it's a guy's
sunglasses,
image, so hopefully I'm
beard.
recognizing it correctly.
There's a beard, so.
That's a good guess if there's a beard. But we never know what he identifies as, so let's not get judgy. So thanks, man. Thanks, sir, madam. And so here we go.
Thank you, kind person. You never can be sure these days. Just nuts.
So we have the 1,000-mile trip in the bag, Chris Air Walker, and the thing that's coming, so we can tell you guys, we have a few things that have been behind. Brendan has lost AC in his house. I have a flood in my basement. And so we have not been at the mic or at the camera since our Memorial Day trip when we went down to Escalante. So pending videos. We have a Stellarium video that's halfway recorded. We have a video about how to find the clouds and if it's going to be cloudy for you for astrophotography. Brendan has a video about his syrup genie that he's recorded. We've also got a video of us down in Escalante that we're showing in about July, scheduled to go out.
Okay.
And then we have a Patreon behind the scenes video, and we have another venture after that. We've had a new one. It's a small video where he went out to a lantern festival. Unfortunately, the plan was to capture the lanterns under. Well, I'll let you tell the plan.
Yeah, they have a lantern festival every year out by the Salt Flats, and it's just in a small town. I think it was Grantsville, just outside Tooele. And they have a big stadium now that they have set up, and they've got like thousands of these lanterns going up. So if you picture like Tangled. Or
Tangled,
there's another movie recently that came out that had a bunch of lanterns in it too.
It's a cool look, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, so I was hoping to get closer so we could actually get in the action stuff, but then they wanted like $50 a person to get in. And I was
$50 just to go in?
$50.
Did that include the price of a lantern to throw up?
I think they give you a lantern with that price, but just to get some video and some shots of it, and so I met up with Dan Linhart, and we drove out as close as we could, kind of a hill above where they were launching from, maybe mile away.
Okay.
And so I did a time lapse of that. So time lapse is pretty cool because you can see the lanterns rising. Then the wind like blows and you can see them like kind of swirling up and stuff. So
Oh, cool.
it's gonna be a cool time lapse. Unfortunately, it's not as close as I want it to be.
So the idea originally was to capture the Milky Way, right? See it, get the exposure of the lanterns, and then wait for the Milky Way and get that.
No, because the Milky Way was on the other side. Light pollution is still in kind of in town.
Oh, that's right, the clouds. I spoke with Dan
clouds are in the
about
way
going
and all
there,
kinds of stuff, so.
and we had those clouds coming in, and so he ended up changing plans, and so that's why you guys moved.
Yeah.
So Peyton's giving the signal of something. Now we need to work out some signals. One versus two. What does that mean?
I'll do something with my hand. And indicate that I have something,
Our signal plan is if he does anything with his hand. Got it.
Just finish what you're saying because there's some
more comments.
Perfect. Bring it.
Matthias, tell me if I'm saying that wrong, but Matthias Bettman said.
Matthias, maybe.
It's Matthijs.
Oh, Matthias. That's a Dutch spelling. That's awesome. Matthias Bateman or Bettman.
Bettman.
All right. What's he say?
He says, "Hi guys, question. What is the best time for photography, not photography, but to photograph the Zion Canyon overlook? Sunrise or sunset?"
Ooh, sunset.
I would say sunset too. We haven't really gone for we tried to go for sunrise, but the lighting, we know that where the light's coming, we know where the light's going when it's setting, and I think sunset is a better time.
For these videos, we need a whiteboard right here where I could just draw it out. But let me describe it for those of you on the podcast right now. Actually, I probably will ditch this on the podcast technically because we can't hear Peyton ask the question. So for those of you on Facebook or any of those of you on YouTube, which by the way, Peyton, while we're talking about this, can you let Facebook know this is where we're at? I forgot to have you do that. So for those of you who don't know, the Zion Overlook is kind of an east to west formation of canyon. And where you stand up high, the sun is rising behind you. And so while the sunrise can work in the golden hour later in the morning, where you get some light on the walls, a little more direct light, it's really contrasty and interesting at the sunset because you start getting, you can also get a star boom, a sun star spike. What do you call that? I'm saying it wrong.
Spike, I think.
A sun spike. I'm saying it wrong for some reason right now. But you get that spike right on the canyon wall in front of you. But then there's this phenomenon that I'm sure is consistent everywhere, but I experienced it more there than anywhere else. After the sun had set and it seemed to get darker and darker and darker, and I thought maybe the light was over. Nothing above us was lit up by the sun that was setting. I was hoping that I was going to get some light up there. Nothing was working. And then suddenly everything goes crazy red. It was like the light at the horizon. Remember that? When we were out there with Rusty Parkhurst at rustyparkhurst.com, go to his website. You got this light that's now cresting over the horizon and lighting red, and that red translated high into the sky and just lit up all the walls around us, even the walls that were in shadow just minutes prior. It glowed.
Yeah.
And so we love that sunset look when that glow happens. Now, does that mean the sunrise won't work? I don't know. Maybe Jeff Peterson will join us. He's done more sunrise photography there. But the good news is that Rafael Pons has arrived, and we can add him into the call. So let's go ahead and go to him. Oh, You got time now. Sounds like Rafael's have the same week that we've had.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Once you get home, something's breaking and...
Okay, Peyton, make sure that he shows up big on the screen. Hey, Rafael, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Sorry about that.
Awesome.
Hey, we understand.
Something and...
Just know that you are live already because we've already gone live. So everything you say from here on is for everyone who's following us right now and the recording.
I'm sorry. I just got something cool. I couldn't do it, man.
No worries. So do you have a video? Do you have a video feed that we can see you?
Oh, yes. Yes. Doing like this. Oh, my God. Do you see me?
Not quite yet. I think it's coming, though. I think we just have a delay on our side.
Ooh, I don't know how to say how sorry I am. It's just, wow, something just...
Oh, no worries. You're only 15 minutes later, so no problem, Rafael. Thanks for joining us.
No. It's, hi.
Oh,
sorry. There we go.
Sorry. I just messed it up. I'm sorry.
No problem. Okay, well, thanks, Rafael, for joining us. Thanks. Sorry if you feel any sort of pressure right now as you're just jumping right into it. You didn't get a chance to hang out with us at all.
Awesome.
Okay, well, Rafael is from PhotoPills team. He's called the Bard, and let's just jump straight into it. Peyton, if you get any questions, give me the heads up, and I'm going to ask my first question. And Rafael, you just had a meeting with Mark G, Elia Locardi, a bunch of guys that I respect. How did that trip go, and what were the things that you learned from the Elia Locardi and Mark G lessons?
Wow, man, it's been amazing. It's been amazing here in Menorca. Meeting these guys for us has been a dream come true, having them here in our headquarters on the island for a week, shooting with us, learning from them. I learned a lot, both from the photography part, but also from the human part. These guys have awesome stories to tell. It's been a really amazing week for everyone who joined PhotoPills camp. And for the PhotoPills tribe in general, we've been sharing all these cool adventures together. I mean, I don't know how to describe this experience. It's been a blast, It's been a blast.
Awesome. Well, just recently, Rafael had a team of people out there who are professional photographers with groups of people who paid to be a part of this 1-week workshop where they can learn the PhotoPills app and photography right there on the island of Menorca. How do you say that?
Yes, Menorca. You're good.
Menorca. Yes. All right, we have a question for you from YouTube. What's the question?
There's actually a few things, but Matthias, and he actually told us his last name is pronounced Batman, like the superhero.
Like Batman. Yeah. He is Batman.
Yes, he is Dutch.
Okay.
He just thanks us for the answer.
He is Dutch. Awesome, Matthias. Matthias Batman.
And Jeff just informed him that sunrise can work if you have some.
Okay, so let me say that again for everybody. Jeff Peterson, one of our favorite photographers to go out with, he's a professional photographer, and he's been out in the Zion area a lot. And he says sunrise can work if you get some clouds to show the color, because the sunrise color will be behind you. But if you have clouds that are lighting up over the canyon overlook, then it's going to be awesome. So it can work either time. I've loved the sunset time, Matthias, so that each time has worked well. Batman. Yeah. So any questions for Rafael Pons on PhotoPills right now?
None that I can see.
Okay, well then I'm going to ask you mine, Rafael. Hey, Peyton, can you hook me up with my iPad? It's right there. Sorry, I didn't bring it over. So, Rafael, on the app. Oh, yeah. You don't see the iPad? Oh, it's on the chair behind you. Over there, Peyton. Oh. On the app, when you have an option for load, you go to a screen that shows a different window on the planner. So if you have the planner app, if everyone has your PhotoPills app with you, go to the planner part of the app. And yeah, please do. So in the planner app, you have the load at the bottom, and you have a save. When you hit load, no, not the load. It is the action. Where's that crazy part? It is save. Nope.
What do you want to do? I can help you.
It's what it is. It's the magnifying glass. So at the planner at the bottom left on the find. So I get to this screen, and I have a moon at azimuth and elevation option, a moon at azimuth, a sun at azimuth and elevation, and a sun at azimuth. I have never made any use of this yet, and I'm wondering if I'm missing out or if I need to have something more specific with azimuths that I want to work on before I need this.
Okay, do you know what's the azimuth?
No.
No, let's start with that then. When this tool, we implemented the find tool in order to help photographers figure out the right shooting spot, date and time. The sun and the moon will be where they want it to be in the frame. So the find tool is very, very useful when you know what you want to shoot from one spot, because you love the foreground and you want the background, and you want the sun to be in one position or the moon to be in one position in the frame. This tool helps you figure out when it happens, when the sun and moon, the date and time, the sun and moon will be where you want it to be in the frame. So
okay, let me slow you down for a sec so that I can recap this.
Yeah.
So this tool is important for you already are in a location. The location you're at currently, you're saying, I want to make sure the sun is going to come up here. And this part of the app is going to say, how you find it within the date, time of the year, and the hour of that day, that you're going to have that at the correct azimuth or height in the sky that you want it to be?
That's right. That's the first tool we used to plan our first shot with PhotoPills, which was a sunset under a natural arch that we have here in Menorca. It's called the Spandangil. It's a very beautiful natural arch, and we've had seen so many shots on that place, but no one had shot the sun setting just right through the arch.
Okay.
So what we did is we placed the red pin on the shooting spot, and then we tell PhotoPills, okay, I want the sun to be setting under the arch when it happens. And this fine tool is the one that tells you when it happens, the exact date and time the sun will be setting, in this example, right aligned with the arch.
Okay.
So yeah.
So it looks like when I was in the planner, I set a location for my pin right off of Twin Lakes, which is over here up Cottonwood Canyon in Utah. And that looks to be the exact spot where the pin is when I go into the magnifying glass. So you need to set your location in the planner before you come into the magnifying glass?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You first, because the magnifying glass is the find option is for, you really need to know the shooting spot, because you want that shot. That's what makes the story you want to tell.
Okay.
So you know from where you're shooting, you place the red pin on that spot, and then you tap on the magnifying glass, the find option, and then you need to choose between a sun, look for a sun, or look for a moon.
So in my example, let's walk through it. I have the sun at azimuth chosen, and I get a triangle of shadow behind my pin, and facing directly south, I get a straight dotted line. Do I change the azimuth 180 degrees? Is that what I need to do? Or is this just the date range I change and say, done?
Yeah, once you tap, let's say you want to look for this, as you said, the sun at azimuth. What you're looking for is when the sun will be in one direction, no matter the elevation, right?
Oh, okay. Okay,
and
so
when you're looking for the sun at azimuth and elevation is when you're looking for a sun at a position in the sky. So you tell PhotoPills they want that direction, which is the azimuth, and at that elevation.
So what is the shadow part telling me?
The shadow part is the area. PhotoPills is telling you that the sun never is going to be in that area for the selected day range. So you know, yeah. So if your subject falls into that shadow, there won't be a result. It's impossible. It's a shot that's not possible. So you forget it. Forget it. Don't waste time on planning it, because it's not going to happen. What you need to do is to maybe choose another day range, let's say 1 year or 2 years.
Okay, and I'll do 2 years.
You'll see how this shadow area will decrease a little bit.
And in this case, specifically where I'm at, up in this mountain range, it looks like there's just never an opportunity for 2 years where the shadow will change, just because by virtue of the structure of the mountains around, and it's just always in shadow. I'll have to try.
This shadow on the map is helping you find results faster. I mean, never look for the sun in the directions that fall within this shadow area.
Okay, awesome. So it gives you a really quick pie, like a slice of a pie, and shows you how large in that pie this specific area will get direct sunlight.
Actually, it's telling you no.
Not direct sunlight. Is it telling you where you can see the sun?
Do you see the yellow pin?
Yep.
Okay. What you need to do is to place the yellow pin on the spot you want the sun to be. Okay. On the direction you want the sun to be.
All right. So say I want it going over this body of water, and coming up over these peaks. So now it tells me an altitude number and a difference between my position and the pin that's yellow.
Yeah. So you place the yellow pin outside the dark area, right?
Yes.
So this means that you'll get results.
I see.
What you're telling is, okay, I want the sun to be in the direction of the yellow pin. So imagine that the yellow pin is the sun.
Uh-huh.
You're deciding where you want the sun to be, the direction.
So
And
if I want that sun to be in that direction, how do I know from this what day and hour I should be there? Does it tell
then
me
you
that?
need to tap on the magnifying glass you see on the top right-hand corner.
Yeah.
And you tap it.
Oh, awesome.
Okay.
So guys, when I tapped that magnifying glass, it gave me a list of times. Wednesday, June 7th. It told me times, let's see, bottom of the list. It even gave me times Saturday, September 23rd at 9:12 a.m. The elevation 29, 6:13. It says there will be the sun. So that
that's
is
really cool.
amazing.
And if you go to sun, azimuth, and elevation, click on that tab. The tab here, the next one down.
Oh, sun add elevation.
Yeah. So now when you click on the elevation here, then there's also a dark and light area.
Okay, say that into the podcast.
Oh, so when you click on the elevation tab that pulls up, then there's a dark and light area, and I just realized that if you go to there and you see the position that I chose, there's only a sliver here, and I can't go below that or above that. So there's only so it only gave me a date and time between those, because if I go in the dark, it'll say there's no time available. The sun basically will never appear in that spot in the sky.
Okay, that's amazing, Rafael. This is one part of the app.
That's blowing my mind, because that's something I have never known about either.
Never known about, never used, and already I can see how I can, but I'm going to have to practice it, I'm going to have to make a video to explain what I learned from this.
It's really, really powerful, because this tool actually gives you the freedom to come up with different ideas and really actually know when these ideas happen. So if you can, maybe they are not possible, so you can sleep at night. Okay, it's not possible. Think about that. But when you come up with a different idea, that's possible. And being able to know the exact date and time it happens is priceless. I mean, well, wow, this is I've been here 100 times. I've seen 100 photos, 1,000 photos of this place, but I have never seen the sun in there. Is it possible?
Right.
And there you go. So this is a brilliant part of the app that's, I got to say, guys, Rafael, your team, if you had anything that can indicate pointing people towards hitting that magnifying glass, you might never hit that intuitively, and I hadn't in the past when I played with it, and it is a much stronger and more powerful tool than I ever realized. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, Peyton, did anything come through that we can ask Rafael, or can I ask my next question?
Richard Gold said more reasons to buy pills.
More reason to buy PhotoPills? I agree.
Ron Laxton said great tool, and Andrew Block said yes, please do another video. Came in late and misunderstanding the issue.
Oh, okay, cool. Absolutely, Andrew. I'm definitely going to do a video with more details. Maybe even do some whiteboard training again, just like last time. So if no one has a question specifically, then Rafael, in the planner, when you are in the nighttime, actually it's in the daytime too. I think it depends on the day. At the very bottom right of the right column, where you see the direction that you see that Milky Way, how it tilts in that circle graphic.
Yeah.
Right next to it are these blue bars. They go up and full in some days, and some days they are low. I've tried to guess what that means, and I haven't figured it out.
Okay, very good question. This is like an energy bar linked to the moon phase. So when it's new moon, the bar is full.
Oh.
When it's empty, is because it's a full moon. So by looking at the bar, you know if you have to pay attention to the moon or not. So
awesome.
Actually, one secret about this button is that if you tap it, you'll set the time to the next new moon.
Which button? The circle around the Milky Way?
The Milky Way. You tap the Milky Way.
Oh.
It's the quickest way to set the time to the next new moon.
And so now I've already jumped all the way through October, and that's the next new moon, October 19th.
Okay, no. Actually, what you should do now is double tap on the time bar to bring date and time to current date and time. The time bar is the color.
So he's telling me to tap on the time, that clock that's underneath the long horizontal bar that's blue and light blue. And so I double tapped on that, and it reset everything to today's time right now, 10 o'clock a.m. on June 7th. So that's cool.
And now tap on the Milky Way picture on the top
I
panel.
want to show us Friday.
And Friday, June 23rd.
So that's a new moon.
Okay.
So how do we plan the Milky Way? What we do is we place the red pin in the location we want to study. We double tap on the time bar to bring date and time to your current date and to our current date and time, and then we explore where the Milky Way will be during the new moon of each month of the year. How do you tap on the picture of the Milky Way, and then on the new moon day, just if you have enable the Milky Way planner, you can just bring time tonight and see the possible composition you have of the Milky Way. You want to know if the Milky Way is going to be vertical at the direction of the galactic center, or if it's going to be possible to shoot the arch of the Milky Way when it's low in the sky. You want to shoot a panorama, for example. So by doing this new moon after new moon, you'll very quickly understand the possibilities you'll have throughout the year around at that location. So, for example, here in Menorca, if you want to shoot the Milky Way when it's vertical, so you're thinking about compositions of, for example, a lighthouse with the Milky Way vertical.
Yeah.
You'll figure out by doing this that is going to happen in August, September, October is when the Milky Way is vertical. You want to shoot the Milky Way when it's pretty low in the sky. You want to shoot the panorama of the Milky Way. By doing this, you'll figure out here that in Menorca and Spain here, that happens from March to May. So the cool thing about the Milky Way is that it's very, very easy to plan. All you need to do is to go from new moon to new moon, see the possibilities around that new moon, and every year is going to be the same.
That is amazing. That is a 3-button way of finding everything you need to know about the next new moon, and let alone just one more tap for the moon after that, the new moon after that, the new moon after that.
Oh, wow.
I love this app, and I use it all the time, and I had no idea. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Do you want to know
stuff?
Do you want to know how to set the next full moon?
Yes, let's do it.
Okay. Double tap on the time bar to bring date and time to your current date and time.
Okay.
And now
Double
swipe
right there.
the panels, the top panels to the right until you find the sun and moon rise and set times.
I mean, when I slide, I see that either way, yeah.
Is this panel here?
Oh, I
Top
see,
panel,
yep.
okay.
So on your mobile
Oh,
device,
slide.
you will need to make sure that that's visible. And in my iPad, I see it all the time on my right column. So yeah, so make sure you slide the top part there to you. We got it.
Well, I see.
Okay, if you double tap the time bar, bring date and time now. So now if you tap on the picture of the moon, time will jump to the next important moon phase.
Oh
So
my
what you do
God.
is to keep tapping the picture of the moon until you get to
I see. Full, half, and then no, and then new moon.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna go through all the PhotoPills now and double tap everywhere and find out all these amazing tricks.
Yeah, it's the best way. When you want to plan the moon, let's say I want to plan the next new moon. So first thing you need to do is to set the date of the new moon, of the full moon. If you want to plan the full moon. So double tap on the central time bar to bring date and time to current date and time, and then just keep tapping on the picture of the moon until the full moon appears. And then you can start planning the full moon according to the directions of the moonrise or moonset that appear on the map with this blue, light blue and dark blue color.
You know, it's interesting. I don't know if I've done something wrong, but when I double tap on my time, it's June 7th. And then I double tap on the moon, it's going backwards to the previous phase.
Yeah. If you double tap on the moon, it will go backwards. If you tap once,
it goes once and it goes ahead. Yeah.
That's it. Okay, so just so everyone understood that, if you see the moon picture and you want to go to the next phase, just tap it once. If you want to go backwards and say, when was the last one? You just double tap it. It'll actually take you back a phase. So that's brilliant. Okay, we have a question from YouTube. What's the question? We have 2 questions. Peyton, give us the first one.
Kathy Henahan said, what is the best way to collaborate PhotoPills if you're not in a cell zone?
Oh, okay. So Kathy Henahan's asking, Rafael, What's the best way to work with your PhotoPills app if you just don't have cell signal where you're at?
Oh, cool. Okay, the PhotoPills app really works offline. The only thing that you need internet connection. Data connection is to have the map visible and for the topography information, because these are these are services that are outsourced. So let's say if you're on the spot and you were shooting the sunset and you want to know when the Milky Way is going to be for that date in that place, you don't need to go to the planner. You just go to the night AR option you'll find in the Pills menu. And this option works offline. You'll be able to visualize the position of Milky Way for the position you are, for the day you are. AR views work offline perfectly. The planner, all the information on the planner works offline. The only problem is that you need to save in your cache memory the map view before leaving home. So if you know that you're going to be shooting in a place that there is no network coverage, all you have to do is to, from home, when you're at home, zoom in and out on the area you're going to be shooting. So the map is stored in the cache memory of your phone. So you at least will have the map visible when you're out there.
Perfect. So let me go ahead and restate that. So he's saying that the signal of your GPS on your phone will be able to communicate with the PhotoPills app and tell you, the information about the sunrise, sunset, the moonrise, the Milky Way rise and set. You'll have that information always. But the part about elevation, when you put a pin somewhere else, or when you zoom in on the planner and you see the satellite imagery or the topography of the area, you can see what's going on. Those images of the map, they will cache in your device. And so if before you leave a cell signal area or a Wi-Fi signal area, if you will just zoom in and out and kind of cache the images, zoomed out and zoomed in on the area that you're going, you will have those images with you when you go to your app, as long as you don't somehow wipe the cache by closing that app and taking the multitasking part of that app out. If you don't turn your phone off, all that kind of element that doesn't wipe the cache. If you still have the cache up, you'll be able to see the image, Kathy, but you can always use it. I used it recently. The AR part of the app will still work at a location where you don't have cell signal. It recognizes where you are using the GPS and the compass, and using the GPS coordinates, it'll tell you where the Milky Way will rise, and the AR will still work.
Yep. That's absolutely right. And the widgets work also.
The widgets. I love the widgets. Everyone has turned their widgets on. Basically, on my iPad, when I slide down my notifications to my widgets, I have right here a PhotoPills square that says specifically, in Orem, Utah, you're going to have a sunrise at 5:57. It's daytime, golden hours during this hour, golden hour, blue hour, astronomical. What the moon is doing, it's a waxing gibbous, has 96.7%. And there's also a PhotoPills events. So you can get PhotoPills events, something that'll remind you that, hey, there's an iridium flare going on, or hey, there's this cool thing that's happening, and it'll tell you in the widget.
Yes. And about the maps, we need to work out with a solution to be able to store save the maps in some ways. So this is something people has been asking us.
Cool.
We know it's key, it's very important. We're talking with Apple if we can create something special to save the map in iOS, and in Google we're going to come up with another solution. But yeah, this is on our to-do list. Tides and the map thing, and many other tools that you guys have been requesting as hell during all these years. And now after the Android version, we're going to be pushing like hell to really make it better.
We're all excited to hear that. That's for sure.
Yeah, we're very motivated.
So Peyton had some more questions. What's the next one?
Ron Loxton says, is there a way to find the moon? Is there a way to find when the moon is not visible? Like if it's already set before the Milky Way has risen?
So if I understand the question, and Ron, let us know. Ron Loxman says he wants to know if there's a way quickly to find out if the moon is going to set before the Milky Way. Is that the request? Because there are ways in the moon part of the app. Is he just looking to find out whether the moon's out of the way of the Milky Way?
You can do it. At the moment, I suppose what he wants is to something like is easy. You can. I understand the question. It's not possible to do it in an automatic way. let's say there is not a Milky Way calendar. It will be in the future, a Milky Way calendar where you can really visualize if you'll have moon or not.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Now what you can do is what we do. We just check the moon. Let's say I want to shoot the Milky Way next weekend. We just check when the moon is setting, and that's it. You know that when you're close to the new moon, the moon sets earlier, and when you're near full moon, the moon is out, and when the Milky Way is out. So by paying attention to the moon phase, it's a very good indicator if you'll have moon or not. We shoot in the Milky Way. Actually, what Anthony, the photographer of the team, he loves shooting the Milky Way when we have moon, not a large moon, but low in the sky. So you have at least light in the foreground, and you capture detail also in the foreground. So depends on the photographer. Some people love shooting without moon. Others use the moon to lead the foreground. Yeah. So having the moon is also we think is cool, but we understand that when you want a pitch black sky, you don't want any light on there. So what we do is manually. We check every day. We want to go shooting Milky Way, what time the moon is gonna be setting, and you can do it very, very quickly with the planner.
Yep, absolutely. And Ron confirmed that is what he said. And just one more point, Ron, if you go to the Moon app, you'll see the little calendar on the left side of the day. So whatever day you're looking at, you're going to see the events from 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. the next day, 12 a.m. And you'll see rise of the Milky Way, set of the moon, rise of the sun, set of the moon, another rise of the moon. So in this case, like tonight, we have a full moon coming. And so we're looking at the rise of the moon at 7:14, and the Milky Way doesn't rise until 11. And so that means that moon is going to be up when that Milky Way rises, and you have to check the next day, and you'll see that the Milky Way actually stops being visible long before the moon even sets. And so that's my favorite quick way of seeing whether the moon is going to overlap your Milky Way.
That's a good point.
I love it. Peyton, you had another question?
Yes. Jeff Harmon says, ask Raph to go over how to figure out if the sun will be visible during golden hours or if it will be behind a mountain.
Ooh, that's a good question. So Jeff Harmon brings us a question. You just talked to Jeff Harmon recently on PhotoTaco. He's an awesome guy. He lives in Utah with us, and we all have the same problem where golden hour will sometimes be during the time that the sun is behind mountains. And so we're curious if PhotoPills has any tool for help us understand if you can see whether whether the sun is going to be blocked during golden hour by mountain ranges.
What we do with this is you have two possible tools.
Which two possible ones?
Yeah, one is when you're in the field, and the other is when you're at home. Let's say if you're in the field.
So in the field, out there, standing in the location you want to take the shot?
Standing in the location of the shot. It might not be the day of the shot, but when you're in the field, you can really use the sun pill, use the AR mode of the sun pill.
So you're saying that in the AR button here will give us different information than if you chose the AR button somewhere else, like in the planner?
Oh no! The cool thing is about the sun pill is that it gives you the AR view from the location you are, so you don't need to move any pin any place.
Perfect.
So if you are on the spot, the easiest way is to go to sun pill, set the date of the shooting on the sun pill, and then tap on the AR to see the sun path and the sun position. And then if you drag time from, let's say, from right to left, you'll see how the sun is setting, and you'll see through the phone when the sun will be hiding behind the mountain. Imagine that you have a mountain over there.
And I see the coloration. I believe the purple and the blue is going into astronomical and civil.
Yeah, so I'm guessing the orange is your golden hour.
Is orange golden hour, or is orange the civil twilight?
Orange is golden hour.
Okay.
So yellow is daytime.
Mm-hmm.
Orange is golden hour, and then when the sun is below the horizon is blue hour, and then the twilight, right?
So that little purple color section is a blue hour timeline?
Blue hour, but blue hour lasts for long, very short. And then is the astronomical twilight. sorry, in the nautical twilight, and then the astronomical twilight, and then nighttime. It's like a gradient of light. So if you're in the field, you're going to be seeing the mountains at the horizon. And if you drag your finger from, let's say, like this, from right to left, you'll see how the sun goes down because you're setting moving time. You have the time at the left-hand corner.
Yeah,
Time.
I see it. And the sun will move right along that ecliptic line that you have.
And you'll be visualizing when the sun is going to be hiding behind the mountain.
Okay.
That's the easiest way to do it. It works offline, no matter where you're on the world. I use this tool to help a wedding planner.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because the bride wanted to get married here in Menorca at 5 p.m. in August, like a hill.
Oh, okay.
But it's too hot, right? It was too hot, and the wedding planner wanted to convince her to get married later. And she asked me, when the sun is hiding behind that hill, so these guys are gonna be in the shade. So in August, so I went there. I set the date of the wedding. I just point my phone in the sky, swipe time. I said, okay, 7 p.m. These guys are gonna be safe in the shade. So she could actually convince the bride to wait until 7 p.m.
Nice.
Yeah, because I mean, here in Menorca in August at 5 p.m. you're gonna be like fried chicken, AFC. You don't want your people coming to the wedding to die there, like.
Right.
So yeah, it's very powerful when you're on the spot.
Very cool.
So how do you deal with it when you're not on the spot? You said that was your other option.
Yeah, the other option is more advanced. You need to go to the planner and use the.
So back to the planner.
Back to the planner, and you need to use this. Let me see. Oh yeah. This panel, the pin-to-pin.
That has the two red mountains in that pin-to-pin geodetic info? Okay, yeah.
You need to use the black pin and the red pin. So you place the black pin, when you tap on the mountains, you'll see that the black pin appears on the map.
Yes.
So you need to place the black pin on the mountain. And this black pin is giving you the elevation difference, the altitude difference between the shooting spot and the mountain. So you know the angle of the sun. I mean, you know that the sun below that angle will hide behind the mountain, and the sun above that elevation, the elevation of the mountain, you'll have the sun in the foreground. So
I dropped my pin. I dropped the black pin after hitting the red mountains, and I put it somewhere that ended up saying the azimuth 78.5 degrees. Is that saying that's the peak of the location that I'm put the pin at? That's the peak azimuth?
No, the azimuth you see here, you see that you have the distance between pins?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
the distance and then azimuth and altitude difference.
The azimuth actually is the angle measured from north to the black pin.
Oh, I see. Just the direction from my location to the black pin on a flat clock.
And then you have the altitude difference. And then you have the altitude difference in meters or in feet and in degrees.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So the degrees, the altitude difference in degrees is the elevation of the mountain. So when the sun is above, that elevation will be visible, and when it's below, it won't be visible.
Ah, okay. So in my awesome. So my situation, I was on top of a peak, it looks like, in the red pin, and the black pin was lower than me, so it gave me an elevation difference of negative 7.9 degrees. So I guess the sun's visible from horizon up, just good to go.
Yeah. You need to have a mountain.
So that's a perfect way of using that. Sorry, that's a perfect way of using the pin-to-pin geodetic info. I know that I've seen how to use that before, but I haven't put it into practice. And Jeff just gave us an awesome idea of how to make sure our sunrise or our golden hour light is going to be hitting our subject.
Right.
Because when you're looking at, like, I went out to the Monument Valley, guys, and I went to an area that I sat down at, and I was guessing the sun's going to rise on the left side of this monument. And I stood there. Brendan was over on the right. Once the sun was rising, the sun went behind the monument, and I sat in the shadow of the monument the entire time, which wasn't a bad sunrise horizon, but it was a terrible foreground lighting. I couldn't light my foreground element. And so I ended up sitting there, and had I only pulled out my PhotoPills app, I could have fixed that, stood in the right position, not only stopped the shadow, but been able to see, hey, the sun's going to rise over here. So move into position and how to get that light on your scene.
Yeah.
So
the augmented reality view is for us is so powerful, because when you're traveling, you're on the spot. You want to know things that's going to happen next. Let's say when the sun will be hiding behind this building you have in the town, or this mountain. You can really visualize that in 1 second offline. Well, easy, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
So what was the other question, Peyton? And thanks, Jeff, by the way.
But I asked him, and he knows already about it. He just wanted to help others understand. And he also said it has to show you destination pins and how the sunlight goes dotted.
So let me try to understand that more. You're saying that he's saying it has to show how the sunlight gets dotted?
I do not know.
So Jeff was just mentioning that he understood how to use that. He was hoping that others would get a second explanation from you, Rafael, on how to understand that part. And I appreciated it because it helped me learn it. And he was kind of making a recommendation that I don't understand yet. So Peyton's going to double check with him and get that recommendation more clear.
What he means is that when the sun is not visible, let's say, I don't know, you can see my screen here. Are you?
Yes.
You see, I have the sun azimuth line, the thin one, aligned with the black pin.
Oh.
You see?
So you have that yellow line right on top of the black dotted line, the black pin's dotted line.
Now the sun is just below, above my subject, let's say. And it's a continuous line. This means that the sun is above the mountain. If the sun is below the mountain, this line would appear like dots or dashed.
So you're saying that's not currently happening in the program, but that's his recommendation.
No, this is not happening now because in my example that I'm showing you now.
Oh, I see.
The sun is above the mountain.
Yeah, and in my example too.
But I'm gonna give you another example. I'm gonna do it fast. Here in Menorca, I know the locations. I can give you a quick example. We have a very tall, high mountain, which is 345 meters tall. It's here. Okay, let's see. Okay, where are you? Here you are. Him.
You get more exact.
Okay, let's make this.
Yeah. I wasn't looking for that.
I know, I just learned that. So.
Oh, gotcha.
1 sec, I'm getting it now. Okay.
So I put myself in a position too now where my red pin's at a lower elevation than my black pin, so I'm hoping I can see what you're talking about.
Look at, where are you? Here.
Oh.
You see now, azimuth line is dotted?
Yes.
This is because when the sun is in that direction, the elevation of the sun is below the elevation of the mountain. So PhotoPills is telling you visually. I could share my screen with you if you want. But let me show. Okay.
Could you share your PhotoPills app screen on the Skype call?
I think so. Yeah.
If you can do that, that'd be awesome. We'll jump around with that. Yeah.
This is the way I do my workshops here.
For those of you following along without an app or just trying to figure out what we're doing while we get set up, basically when you have a pin that's red in your location and you set the black geodetic info pin somewhere higher, and as well as I just set it to a higher spot, but the sun's so high in the sky, it never gets blocked by that mountain. But if you go to a location where the sun is low in the sky and blocked by terrain, you actually, instead of a long, solid yellow line that shows where the sun is throughout all the hours of the day, that kind of spins around like the hands of a clock, when that thing is right there behind the mountain or behind the terrain, that yellow line becomes a dotted line instead of solid. And I had not seen that yet because of all our locations. I've just never done it at that situation. I had never seen it happen. You have to find a location that's actually where the sun is low enough in the sky that can actually get blocked by the terrain instead of just being at that hour where it overlaps that area, but it's still so high in the sky. So did you have any success with that, Rafael? I'll ask the next question if you want to keep looking at that.
I'm having. Here we are.
All right, Peyton, if you get this loading up and make that the main screen that we're looking at.
Very nice.
Golden. Rafael, thank you. That's brilliant. Yes.
Have it?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. So yeah,
That's awesome. We should have done that a long time ago. That's awesome.
Yeah, this is how I do in my one-to-one hangouts with the guys that want to meet me or ask me for help. Is the easy way to help you guys if you get stuck. I have time. I'm not famous, so I can promise. I'll be able to do it next year, but now I can. So yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So that's an example right there.
I see my mouse.
Yeah.
The point of mouse.
Okay.
So you have my shooting spot. Let's say this is a mountain. This is the tallest mountain on Menorca. It's not a mountain. It's 345 meters tall.
Yeah. Not like a Utah mountain, no.
Yeah. If you tap on the black pin, what you see is the difference here, the elevation difference. You have it also on the top panel here with the pin-to-pin geodetic info panel.
Yes.
So the elevation difference between the shooting spot and the mountain, top of the mountain, is 5.4 degrees, right?
Yeah.
And now the sun is aligned with the mountain, right? At 6:45 a.m., more or less, 6:44 on June 9th. Okay, let's check the elevation of the sun. If you go to the next panel, you see the sun is at elevation at this time of the day at 4:38. 4:38 is below 5.4.
Ah, yeah.
So the sun is hidden behind the mountain. So as you see, the azimuth line of the sun is dotted, is dashed. But if I move, let's say here, okay, and I look for the sun to be aligned with the mountain, you see? Now you have a straight line because the elevation of the mountain is 7.2, but the elevation of the sun is 42 degrees. So it's right off the mountain. So when it's dashed, it's because the sun is hidden behind the mountain. When it's straight, it's because the sun is above the mountain, so you can see it. I suppose that's the question.
Yeah, that's exactly it. The question that brings up for me is looking at a satellite image. It's definitely difficult to see precisely where a peak is that's in front of you because you only have color. And I'm looking at your other options here like OpenStreetMap and OpenCycleMap and Hybrid. I don't see one that gives us topographical information. No, OpenCycleMap does. So if I chose OpenCycleMap Classic and not Landscape, you get the topographical lines.
Now I'm using the landscape, I think. Yeah, you see the contour lines here.
I only see one, so it's hard to tell where the peak is. Does the one line mean peak or summit?
No, I'm seeing many here.
Oh, maybe I wasn't noticing.
Maybe it's Are you looking at my screen or yours?
I see it on mine as well. I see on yours where I can see those lines. So
you see it? Yeah.
So which maps have the topographical lines? Just OpenCycle map, the classic and landscape?
I'm using landscape.
Okay, sweet. So go to that, guys, and you'll be able to see topographical lines and know where your peaks are if you understand how to read a topographical map. And you can put your geodetic pin there and recognize what's going to block you and what's not.
Actually, it's available on the classic and landscape. On both,
Okay,
you have the counter lines.
perfect. What's your
Yeah.
difference between landscape and classic? What am I seeing change?
Good question. Let me see.
Hey Peyton, while he looks at that,
Look
what's the next
similar.
question?
There's a few,
The guys
but Jeff
showed me.
Harmon says that the golden line turns into a dotted line, and this is awesome for portrait planning because direct golden hour light is different from golden hour light in the shadow of a mountain.
Okay,
Yes,
say that
yes.
again. Who's the name? And
Jeff Harmon.
That was Jeff.
Jeff Harmon. Okay,
Yeah.
Jeff Harmon points out that for portrait
I hate you,
photography,
Jeff. I hate you.
that in portrait photography, it's awesome to use this to know that, okay, golden hour light in the shadow is much different than golden hour light when it's direct. Obviously, you want it to be direct, or I guess not obvious. You could have it either way, depending on what you're looking for. But if you have golden hour direct light, you have that hitting your subject, you have it glowing around the area.
It's a much nicer look. Yeah.
Absolutely. So thanks, Jeff.
Versus the shadow, which is what
You want me to share another trick with you?
We have a few more questions.
Okay.
Peyton, how many questions do we have? Can we have that trick? Because I want the trick.
There's just one question from Jeff.
There's only one question, so let's put on hold for that. What's the trick?
Oh, the trick is that the question is, okay, during the golden hour, when the sun will be, right?
Okay, yes.
How can you set very quickly the beginning of the golden hour? That's the trick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, look at my screen.
Okay.
Right now it's let's say 8 minutes past 10 a.m. If I tap on the right hand side of the time bar, if I tap once,
Oh.
you'll be jumping. You keep tapping, you'll be jumping from new moon to a new the next important new light event.
So the times of the time of golden hour begin, the time of sunset, the time of civil twilight, nautical twilight, astronomical twilight.
Noon.
Those precise minutes you're jumping to on the timeline when you tap the right or left.
So, for example, you're shooting you're shooting the full moon, right?
Yeah.
And you want to know where the moon will be at the beginning of the golden hour, because it's when you can capture the full moon and the landscape in one single exposure. You just tap on the corner of the time bar until you see golden hour begins. So now you can pay attention to the position of the moon. So you know that from this time upwards, you're gonna have golden hour. So you know where the moon will be during the best light of the day.
Oh, that's a brilliant tip. So those of you not understanding the tip yet, at the very bottom of your planner app, you have that rectangle that is colored with the sunset, the nighttime, and the daytime with light blue, dark blue, orange. Basically, if you tap on the very far left, the very far right, you jump to the tap once, you jump to the next major time moment. So right now I'm at 8:14 p.m. I hit that. It goes directly to 8:54 p.m., which is precisely when the sun goes down enough into sunset. Let's see, 8:45 p.m. the sun does set at 8:54. So if I go and hit it before, golden hour begins at 8:14.
Yeah, and you can know when the blue hour begins, for example, too.
Mm-hmm.
Blue hour is a good one because I keep having situations where I want a blue hour and I'm thinking, when is blue hour? When's it going to be best? And so I need to use this more. And if you tap the right or left screen, guys, you'll see at the bottom left next to your clock, it just says blue hour begins. Sunset, golden hour begins. It tells you in text as well what that time is that you jump to.
Yeah.
That's awesome, Rafael.
Yeah.
This way you don't need to go to the top panel to check our times, and you have the times here.
That's brilliant.
Very cool.
If you want to go quick and see where things will be during the certain light moment, just tap on the corners and you look for the time. Yeah.
That's great. What's that next question, Peyton?
Jeff just wants to know if it's an app, which app he's using to show his phone.
What he's using, it looks like, because I recognize the record button, is simply QuickTime on a Mac OS machine that is beyond Capitan. I think it's 10.1. Jeff, I can't remember which exact OS it starts with, but QuickTime has the feature where you can do a screen record with the device, like an iPhone or iPad, that's been plugged in with their cable.
It's pretty cool for people that wants to use PhotoPills in their courses and workshops for educational purposes. It's pretty cool. We use QuickTime. We just go to create new video, and then you connect your iPhone to your laptop, and you choose your phone, and that's it. You're gonna have PhotoPills on your screen. And you don't press the record button. You just leave it like this, and you can move. And these are the tool I use for all my workshops.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
cool.
how I captured my iPad footage for the PhotoPills video too. Was just recording with that, and
that's what I use for my Instagram video as well.
Oh, perfect! Yeah. Right on.
Awesome.
So, Peyton, any questions coming through for Rafael? Okay, so Rafael, you've joined us for a very long time. Thank you for being on the call for 50 minutes so far. If there are no more questions from them, Brendan and I, do we have any other questions we want to hit up Rafael with before we let him go?
I'm sorry I was late.
Oh, you are okay, Rafael. You made time for us today. We thank you. We're in your debt still. Don't even worry about the few minutes that you came later.
So out of all the pills, Rafael, when you're in the main pills option, what is like the pill you find yourself using the most?
Wow, that's, in my opinion, the 3 pills that are used the most are the widgets, the planner, and the night AR. These are the 3 pills people use the most because Milky Way nowadays is very, very popular.
Yeah.
The night AR option is so easy. It works offline. You're offline. You're out there. You just need to tap on the night AR button and see what's gonna happen in the sky in a couple of hours. That's really powerful. Then you have the widgets that gives you instant access to all the key sun, moon, and Milky Way information of the day. And then the planner. The planner obviously is the one you use to plan your photo ideas anywhere in the world, anytime. So these are, for me, the 3 most used ones, according to analytics too.
Okay, so I'm going to act like I don't know what a widget is. How do I access the widgets and how do I load them onto my widget screen?
You don't know what are the widgets. Come on.
Well, Aaron did it for me, and so I've got mine preloaded, but how would I go in there if I didn't have them already loaded? How would I get the widgets in there?
This is my first video. The first thing you need to do when you're downloading PhotoPills is to enable the widgets. Okay. And how you do that is, okay, the widgets is this. You have the keys, it tells you the location you are. We are in Ceuta, Menorca, here in Spain, and you have the sun information, light information. For example, now it's telling me when the sun will be setting at 12 minutes past 9, and the sunrise tomorrow, right? Then you have the light information, moon information, galactic center information, Milky Way information, and then my future plans. How do you enable them on iOS? You see here that we have the edit button.
Yeah.
So you tap. I'm gonna delete them, remove them for you. So yeah, let's start over. You just swipe down from the top of the screen. You access the notification center, and then swipe right to access the widgets. Then scroll down until you see the edit button. You tap on edit. Oh, come on. Okay, my phone is crazy now. Why is not working?
So while he pulls this up, I want to let you guys know on the YouTube video, I haven't forgotten. I just realized I almost forgot the contest. I want to reward 3 of you guys with the best pictures that we have today. We have the top 10 picked. We're going to go through them quickly with Rafael, Brendan, and I. We'll each pick our favorite picture from it. Any overlap, we'll pick another one. And so we'll go through those after this. Peyton, you had one question that popped up?
Kirk Keys.
Kirk Keys. Hey, Kirk.
My question is, how do I share a plan with another PhotoPills user?
That's awesome.
Good question.
So the question, well, I guess let's, you're adding them there. And then when you're ready, Rafael, you can show that. Were you able to hear the question okay?
Yeah, I heard the question properly.
Perfect.
So do you want me to end the widgets thing first?
Yes,
yeah, let's do that
please.
and finish that. Yeah.
So yeah, when you tap on edit, you'll see the widgets down there. Let's say with the green plus.
Mhm.
You tap on the green pluses, and you'll get then the widgets on top.
Nice.
And you can, if you tap on hold on the lines you see on the right, you can sort them out. Right?
Mhm.
I usually love to have them in this order. Then tap on done, and you've done. You've done.
Great.
You need to tap on show more, and you'll have all the key sun, moon, and Milky Way information. That's pretty cool, and it works offline. It's very useful when you're traveling. It's awesome.
Great. Thank you.
So how do you share? How can you share a plan with a friend, right? Another PhotoPiller. Okay. If we go to PhotoPills, let's say you've already saved the plan.
Mhm.
Okay. When you save the plan are stored in My Stuff menu here on top, My Stuff,
Ah.
and they have your plans, right? You tap on your plans, and here I have my list of photo plans. If I tap, let's say here in Talati or White Papa Moonset, for example, I see the plan. This is in New Zealand, in White Papa. So now if I want to share this plan with a friend, I just tap on Action.
Oh. Yeah.
And then here I can do several things. First, I can send the plan to the planner to replan it or adjust it. But also I can add the plan to your calendar or your phone. So you can add an alert. And if you want to send it to a friend, you can send it via email.
And is the best one to get their PhotoPills app to open it and email? I don't see a message. You can't text it to them, it looks like.
No, you send it by email because you're sending a KMZ file.
Oh, right on.
So,
Awesome.
so your friend will be able to import the plan onto PhotoPills directly from the
If you
email.
get more,
And the brilliant-
you can add Gmail.
You could add specific Gmail
Or
app
Messenger.
to send it.
Yeah,
Messenger. That looks like
So
that's a
there's
Yahoo.
few-
Oh yeah,
All right.
Facebook
WhatsApp.
Messenger. Yeah.
So the
WhatsApp.
other cool thing is that with the KMZ file, guys, you can send it to someone's desktop and have them open it up in Google Earth, and then you can
Right.
see their plan right there in Google Earth because the KMZ file is legible or readable by Google Earth.
Yeah, and another cool thing is that imagine that is the day of the shooting. You can send the position of the red pin to your Maps app on your phone
Oh,
and work out the direction. So
that's
if
great.
I do that now, let's see if it's possible to work it out. I don't know. I'm here in Menorca and the shot is over there. I need to fly, I think. but yeah, it's pretty cool. Maybe I'm gonna try with another one.
Okay,
Yep.
so from here to Manhattan.
I just sent
2,000
myself a
miles, basically.
goosenecks plan, and I know exactly where to sit.
Yeah, let's say this one
From
for
here to
example.
Manhattan. Yeah. So,
Directions to Manhattan. I don't think we want to drive there.
yeah, it's 2,000 miles.
You see how, for example, I'm here at home, and if I want to shoot this shot at the lighthouse here in Favarich, it tells me the route, and well, it's another cool thing.
Okay.
And that's brilliant because you can do that. You have the plan saved on your device, and you don't
Yep.
even have well, you want cell signal for the map to work, I guess. But when you're driving there, you can set it up right there on the spot, on the fly. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep,
That's a great question, Kirk, because I haven't done that. And Kirk is actually going to be showing Brendan and I around at Crater Lake. And so now I'm going to make some Crater Lake plans. Or Kirk, if you make any, you can share with us, and we'll share ours with you for Bend in Oregon.
yeah.
Bend in Oregon. That's going to be awesome. Can't wait. In 2 weeks, we'll be hanging out with Kirk. So, any other questions, Peyton, before we go into the contest?
No, there is not.
Okay. Peyton is sharing his screen with us on the Skype call, Rafael. So I don't know if you'll be able to see his screen. If you can choose, Rafael, his screen so you can see the images we're sharing, that would make it so that you can follow along.
See.
Right now, Peyton, we're just seeing your bars. Can you choose share screen? I don't think you've had that set up since we've swapped over.
Where do I?
Over there on your Skype call, just hit the plus sign at the bottom, and you'll see share screen, and you'll choose the screen that's on the left.
Yeah.
Any luck with that, Peyton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here it is.
All right.
Awesome. Okay, we are seeing the pictures. So go ahead and ditch our image there, Peyton. We'll just hear us from this point on. So right now, one more photo shares us the first picture, and Peyton's going to guide us through this. So Rafael, keep in mind your favorites, and you're going to have a favorite. Brendan, you're going to have a favorite. Then I'm going to declare a favorite.
Okay.
If we have an overlap, because some of these images are pretty fantastic, if we have an overlap, we'll just do one. We'll have one of us choose another one. Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So this is from one more photo. Peyton, go to the next one. Here's Astro Drama, his Milky Way behind the lit house. Go to the next one, and we'll jump back to these. And here's from Brent Huntley. He's got a picture down in Arizona, I believe he said. And go to the next one. Here's some Golden Orb Designs. Jeff joined us earlier. I don't know if he's still there since it's like 4 in the morning for him. But yeah, that's an awesome picture of the Milky Way.
That's beautiful.
Swap over, Peyton. Here's a shot from Hezarad. I don't know how to pronounce your Instagram account, but I know that she has awesome images, and she had a problem loading this where her phone turned off middle of loading it. She had a nice long story beautiful poetic story about how this is wonderful and how she could use PhotoPills, and then it got wiped away by her phone, losing battery. That sucks. Okay, go to the next one. Yeah, I've been tempted to buy one of those glass balls too and do some Milky Way photography with it, just because.
That tricked me out when I saw that.
You crazy. You made our intern go crazy because he didn't know what he was looking at. He thought maybe it was a perfect water drop that happened. So do the next image. And for sake of time, we'll go through in detail on the 3 favorites and not go into detail on any of these other ones yet. So some of you listening on the podcast right now, you're probably not even, I'll just delete this from the podcast. Yeah. It's not interesting radio. So there is an image from, I'll go back, Nick Lawton, I believe was the last one. Mike Lawton, right. Mike, sorry, Mike. Mike Lawton's photography there. He was the one who tried to get ate by a crocodile last time he went out, or an alligator. He had an alligator in Florida that he almost stepped on as he was out doing Milky Way photography.
No way.
He wanted to get a reflection in the water down there, and so he went down there to check it out, and then suddenly almost stepped on a 14-foot alligator.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, no kidding. Go to the next image, Peyton. And this is from Nancy Hall. This is her first ever Aurora image. Oh, wow. And she has one more Aurora image than I do. I technically have one from last week where I caught the pink band that was still visible in southern Utah, but I do not have an Aurora like this. That's awesome, Nancy. Go to the next one. And I think that's the last one. Or no, we got, hey, Peyton, read this one to me. I can't read. It's kind of Night Viking. Here's an awesome Milky Way shot from Night Viking, a lot like a Silver Lake type image, all black, silhouetted. Yeah. And the next one, if there is another one.
This is the last one.
This is the last one. And the last one's from TCS Country Photography. Wait, can you say that for me?
TCS Country Try Photography.
Oh, okay. TCS Country Photography. All right. So, do you guys have any way of picking your favorites? You want Peyton to go back slowly through this 10?
Yeah.
Okay, Rafael, pick your favorite as he goes backwards, and I will too.
Awesome.
And just go at a nice pace, Peyton.
And that's all 10.
All right. Okay. Brendan, let's start with you. Which one was your favorite? Actually, no, Rafael. That way, if there's a tiebreaker, you don't have to choose another one, Rafael. Which one was your favorite?
My favorite was the Milky Way shot with the reflexes on the water and the mountain at the background.
I think that was Golden Orb Design. This one right here? Awesome. So Hezarad. Peyton? No, it's a Milky Way.
I like this one,
yeah.
The one that we're settled on right now is the one you like, Rafael?
Yeah.
Okay, so the favorite from Rafael is Hezarad. So you are one of the winners right here. Now, the people who can hear us next, if we have overlap, they're going to be hearing they're almost a winner and then the tiebreaker, and we'll see how it goes. So awesome, Hezarad. You have won one of the PhotoPills. Rafael is one who chose you, so that's great. I love the reflection. Reflections are hard to get.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a very still bit of water.
Yeah, that water is super still. That was perfect timing on that.
So, Rafael, what do you love about this image so we get a chance to just praise her?
Yeah, just the reflexes and the moment. I like like you see the trees and the sky behind the trees, and all the details he managed or she managed to capture the mountain too. Is multiple exposure, I suppose, right?
I would guess too. Yeah, I mean, she did a really good job getting this terrain.
Yeah, she exposed well for the grass. You can see it really clearly, and the mountain very clearly as well. Yeah. And yet that Milky Way is nice and bright, really well exposed. So that's really good technical feat, actually.
Yeah, awesome job, Hezarad.
It's blended, yeah, perfect.
So one winner down. Brendan, what's your favorite?
I really like the arching over the mountain from Golden Orb design.
So Jeff Pritchard?
Yeah.
All right, Jeff.
Next one over, yeah.
I knew you would pick one up with this shot. This is a brilliant shot, and you can see the two very faintly in the bottom middle. You can see the large and small Magellanic cloud.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, awesome shot. So what else do you like about this?
This is obviously a pano, and it's really well done. From a technical standpoint, there's no fading lines or anything. Like, it's just really, really well done. So he did a really good job taking those shots and combining them. So I love the reflection of the water on both sides of this. I mean, this is just a really intense panel. It's really cool.
Yeah, and he got it to line up well with the Milky Way and use this walking bridge or something across the area.
Yeah. The bridge is leading us to the mountain and the Milky Way. It's perfectly everything is perfectly well composed.
Yeah. What awesomeness! He does have the curve in the walkway going towards the core of the Milky Way instead of having being opposite, and that would have been a distracting element if it had been opposite. So that's a good shot. Awesome job, Jeff. You're the winner of the second PhotoPills code. And we have a question before we go to the last one.
Not a question.
A statement.
We actually have warheads. This one. 1 second.
Peyton's saying something, but we're not quite sure what.
The photographer of this picture said, "Thank you, this is me."
Oh, she's on right now.
Oh, yeah, she is right now.
Awesome.
Said, Mount Shasta.
It's Mount Shasta in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, she just said, "Thanks for choosing my image," and I'm very honored.
She's very honored, says, "Thanks for choosing the image," and well done. You did an awesome job of this. I've only noticed you recently jump on the group and follow us, and I started following you on Instagram. You have great photography, a lot of fun. She's a teacher out in California, and she does all sorts of other stuff for charity. I think that she is an awesome person, and I'm glad that she's getting PhotoPills.
Awesome.
Jeff, I'm not sure about Jeff. He's kind of a, he's kind of a lunkhead. I love Jeff so much. He has a hilarious, very long story that I've been trying to figure out how to tell it on the podcast without boring everyone because it's so long it might get bored of me, but it's a hilarious story. You've got to read it. You haven't finished reading it yet, probably. So let's go on to the third one. Peyton, go to the Aurora. I wanted to give, I think it was Nancy Hall. I want to give Nancy Hall PhotoPills because she has her very first Aurora that she's ever taken, and she took the time to not only find it, get it in shot, but she got a windmill, a cool little windmill silhouette on the foreground. I think that she has a lot of potential for her Milky Way photography in the future. This is a little out of focus, is the only thing that's not there, and everything else is brilliant. And so she's going to have a fun time with PhotoPills. I'd love to give her the app.
Because this is nice and sharp.
She probably focused right on that. You're right. But even that should have been infinity, don't you think? From where she was standing. So nice job, Nancy. You did a fantastic job on this shot. I hope that you can capture more Aurora in the future and using the PhotoPills app. Rafael, you guys ever going to have PhotoPills announce and alert us with Aurora pulses?
It's in the pipeline.
Yes.
I went to New Zealand.
Swap cameras.
Yeah, a few months ago, and I saw the auroras for the first time there. And everybody was chasing the auroras, and there I realized that it was important to have the aurora alert in the PhotoPills app to we'll see. We'll see how to do it. You know, Herman, the developer, is gonna kill me. Oh yeah, it's
like,
gonna have everything.
Yeah, knowing app development and being a guy who's been in the game industry doing apps and also PC production, guys, don't buy into any of this as a commitment or a promise, because some of these things can be beyond what the app can contain. Other issues can cause it to not go in. Even if they could actually figure out how to do it, they might not have a way of putting it in for some weird, bizarre reason that breaks something else. So just, we hope that this is what happens and it can come. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll do our best.
You guys have done a fantastic job so far, so we're stoked.
Awesome.
We have two more comments before we let you go, Rafael.
Cool.
Designs says, thank you, woohoo, very honored.
Jeff is still awake.
Real serious go. That picture was his first real serious go. It actually.
What?
Oh, good.
Jeff, don't say that.
That's awesome.
Jeff just said that was his first real serious go at the Milky Way, and he's like, well, you know, I was just practicing with that shot. What? Those are brilliant shots.
Yeah.
Jeff.
It works.
He can improve.
Yeah.
And Warhead says, thank you. I appreciate it so much, and I'm thankful to have found this podcast and you.
Oh,
Right,
I'm glad
awesome.
she found us too. I think she found us through. Why can't I come up with his name right now? I won't try and figure it out because it'll take me too long. But he's an awesome guy in California. He's been going. He's the one who got his car stuck in the mud when he pulled out.
Right.
But why can't I think of his name right now? I'm just going blank. Sorry, man.
Now.
Yeah. I want to say Mike Lawton over and over again, but it's I'll say it again. Hey, Rafael, thank you so much for joining us, and thanks for connecting us with your iPhone, because that was brilliant. You made the video 10 times better. Had only I thought to ask that beforehand.
Yeah.
Thank you. And one more time, I was late, so sorry.
No worries.
I owe you one.
Great.
I hope to meet you in my trip to US this summer and have fun, and we can do something together. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, you and I are going to coordinate to get some space for you out here to do a lesson in person with people in the Utah area. So those of you listening who are in the Utah area or close enough that you want to come down, we're going to have Rafael Pons for an evening, do a workshop. So that's going to be awesome here.
Yes. Let's have fun. Huh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Peyton's urgently telling us there's one more comment.
There's actually a few.
There's a few? Okay,
But,
buckle down, guys.
Tiao G says that he would love, like, this is just a suggestion, but he would love for PhotoPills to be in Portuguese.
Oh, do you have Portuguese language options for PhotoPills?
It's we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it soon. Yeah, Portuguese, Turkish. Actually, it depends on the. Actually, we're translating the app thanks to the help we're getting from other PhotoPills users. You know.
Awesome.
So our users are translating the app. So if this person wants to help us, we're
Nice.
Yeah.
Once it's Portuguese, it's very easy.
And Johnny Boyd said, what about something like Skyfire to predict colorful sunsets?
Okay, what do you think? That is
I
such
know.
a non-science. I don't know if we could begin to predict them, but do you have any ideas about Skyfire?
Yeah, I know. We've been asked this several times. It's all it's in our to-do list. Actually, it's been now that we have released the Android version. Android took us like 1.5 years to develop. So we stop all our things. We have a large list of improvements, and Skyfire is something we want to study. But we want to really provide a global solution, and it has to work worldwide and the same quality. So that's a big challenge. Some people approach us offering similar services, so we can implement them. But we need to sit down, decide what is most important first, do it, and all these tools will come in later on.
Cool.
All right. Well, that is awesome. I don't know if that will ever come around and be necessary. I know that you have all the tools in your hands to go out there. Photography is about hitting a location many times and being there. It's not necessarily about what camera you have or how talented you are. It's just putting out the time, getting that location, and doing it many times, and just getting lucky with the light and the situation.
Yeah, well, sure.
Yeah. And this is what we say, thanks to tools like PhotoPills. I mean, this is what we're trying to inspire people to be at the right place at the right time to capture the scene they imagined maybe months ago or years ago. So yeah, it depends on you guys. It depends on the needs, on your needs. PhotoPills can help you get answers. Can be a basic information like golden hour, but if you're pushing your imagination and come up with different compositions of the Sun, Moon, and Milky Way, please take advantage of PhotoPills and find when those ideas happen, so you can actually go and make them real. That's it's all about. It's all about finding all these moments that are happening every day, but nobody sees. So now we have a mission here to find them and show them to the world. That's what we want to do, and we want to inspire you to follow us.
That's awesome.
Well, we absolutely are. I haven't been, I'm pretty much a missionary of the PhotoPills Church. And so thank you so much for the great app. I have loved it, and I tell everyone about it. And one last thing, Peyton, what's coming through?
Juarez says, for you, the guy that you couldn't come up with his name, it was Steve
Magner.
Steve
Magner. Oh, my gosh.
Okay.
Thanks. Don't tell. Oh, Steve will know. Steve will know that I messed up. Darn it, Steve. Sorry, man. So thanks again, Rafael. Thanks, everyone, for following us. Rafael, we hope to have you on soon. When we have you over for the workshop, do you have any qualms with us recording it and putting it on the YouTube channel for those who can't join us?
Yes.
That's fine. Awesome.
No,
let's.
I love it.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I love helping people reach their goals, and I do. That's why I'm traveling the world now, meeting PhotoPillers, helping them, running workshop with PhotoPills masters. I'm going to be running workshop with Josh Chris, for example, or Royce Bear in Salt Lake City.
Yeah.
Chris Parker. And it's all about being with the community, help people master PhotoPills, because there is a learning curve. And I'm ready to share all the secrets with them, and that's
fantastic.
Well,
that's my mission.
He's the bard, and he is out on a mission coming to the U.S. to teach people about this and to help us see things like, hey, you just double tap here or tap there. Had no clue.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Rafael. Thanks for making all this time with us, staying for an hour and 16 minutes. You're a real champ. Thanks for hanging. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Rafael. Thank you
for having me. Thank you.
We'll hang up here with you, but we'll say thank you again on the email, and we'll talk soon.
Cool. Thanks, man. See you guys.
Thanks, Rafael.
Have a good night.
See you, man.
Thank you.
And thank you, guys. Thanks, Peyton, for
See you guys.
Thanks, Rafael.
Have a good night.
See you, man.
Thank you.
And thank you, guys.